Thank you so much.
Are you?
Hello, thank you so much for joining. My name is Andrew Pact. I am the middle school band director here, and we have a few tunes for you. This is a little ensemble that we put together that's going to play actually at the Great American Weekend on Saturday, July 6th. So I hope you enjoy a couple patriotic songs. Thank you. Thank you so much for coming and giving us the space to play for you. We always enjoy coming and getting to play in our community. We have one more song for you. Hopefully, like a lot of the other ones, you'll probably recognize. You're a Grand Old Flag.
very much, Mr. Pack. Thank you, students, and good luck on July 6th. Hopefully, I'll see you guys there. Great. Thank you. All right, good evening, everybody. Welcome. I'd like to call to order a regular meeting of the Board of Education of the Goshen Central School District being held on Monday, June 24th, 2024 at 6:30 p.m. in the District Administration Building. After the Pledge of Allegiance, I'd like to ask everyone to please take a moment of silence and keep in your mind Noe Dominguez, who's a recent graduate, who unfortunately recently passed away.
United States
of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much, everybody. All right, getting started, I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to our superintendent, Dr. Chris Coates, for some board lectures.
Thank you, Mr. Loftus. So one of the most exciting parts of the end of the school year is to celebrate accomplishment. We started with great music tonight, but tonight we're here to celebrate a program that helps to make our district one of the most well-rounded, notable districts in the area. And it's not by accident that year after year, we are able to come back and celebrate our Odyssey of the Mind program. And we're so pleased and happy to be able to do that. Each year that happens, not by accident, it happens because of the hard work of our volunteers, our parent volunteers, our parents that stay committed to bringing their children regularly to practice and to prepare for the competitions. It happens because of our faculty, and it happens most importantly because of the hard work of all of our students. So we're going to hear so many of their accolades tonight. Thank you for affording me just a few minutes to introduce them, but it's my pleasure to turn the presentation now over to Mrs. Laskowski, our own coordinator.
I have to have my visuals. So, as Dr. Coates introduced me, I'm Beth Laskowski, and I'm here with Goshen Odyssey of the Mind to tell you about the great year that we had this year. Here it comes.
There's a little lag.
Oh, okay. Okay, this is Goshen's 8 teams at our annual spontaneous night. They're having a great time, as you can see. 4 teams from this group went on to compete at Syracuse State Fairgrounds at the New York State Finals. And of those 4 teams, 2 of them finished in the top 3, and we're here to recognize them tonight. Okay, in 3rd place was Team Chlorophane. GIS. So I'd like to call Coach Kathy Chlorophane here to help me with the
Madison,
just gonna call your first names.
Madison, my dad. And James is not here tonight. Claire. Abigail. Caden. Gia. Ava. This is the best team I've had ever, except for my daughter's team, she's up there. They were amazing to work with. We did nothing but laugh at our meetings and create an amazing script. They were terrific. I'm proud of you all. Thank you. Thank you, team. Okay.
And then now, Team Lucy. Finals, and that means that they advance to World Finals. First or second advance to World Finals. And here they are hitting Iowa State University. And here they are performing. So theirs was a technical problem, so they perform and then all the judges walk around them. I find it to be very stressful and impossible to understand, but Coach Lucy is a champion of technical problems. This team placed 14th out of 45 teams. And here they are with a special will help me with the certificates.
Jean. Rowan. Ara. Kaya. Lilia. Rose. Oh, and for me, thank you.
Board, they're also getting certificates from Senator Skoufis as well. So, and that also reminds me that I must say a big thank you to all the supporters in the Goshen community, the administration, and the school board. Without your support, this program wouldn't be what it is. So thank you very much. Okay, and now, Omer and all of us at Goshen would like to say a very big thank you to a very special person. So this is Coach Chlorophane with her last team, and they're a very enthusiastic bunch, and two of them wanted to just say a little something tonight. So they're going to come up and talk to you.
Good evening to the members of the board and to everyone who is here tonight. I am lucky to have had a lot of great teachers in my life. A few always stand out, but Mrs. Chlorophane was the best third grade teacher and OM coach. We want to thank you for coaching us. Your unique approach to teaching has made it easy and more fun for every student to contribute actively to the team. I have learned so much from you. You encouraged us to be the best we could be and to always think outside the box. I will always be thankful to you for all your hard work and effort you put into building the team. You spent countless hours preparing us for competitions, Ms. Chlorophane. You always encouraged us to ask questions and answer them with patience. You took the time to listen to us and solve problems calmly. You really showed us how to be true Omer. Ms. Chlorophane, you are the best and your own coaching skills are not like the rest. It is always painful to say goodbye to someone who has made a big impact in our lives. We hope you enjoy your retirement.
Today I'm here to honor our amazing OM coach, Ms. Chlorophane. She welcomed us with a big smile when we started. You showed us that there were no bad ideas. You taught us that OM isn't just about winning medals or trophies, It's about working together, supporting each other, and using our imagination to solve problems. You taught us that the most important thing is to have fun and to believe in ourselves and each other. You are not just a coach to us, you are our best friend. Because of you, we never give up and always keep trying. You made every moment special with you. As you retire, we want you to know how much we appreciate everything you've done for us. We are grateful for your patience, your wisdom, and your endless enthusiasm. You have inspired us to dream big and to always look for new ways to solve problems. Ms. Clothing, we will miss you so much, but we are also happy for you. We hope that your retirement is filled with lots of joy, relaxation, and maybe a little bit of adventure too. Thank you for being the best coach ever. We love you and will always remember the amazing times we had together. Congratulations on your retirement, Ms. Clothing. I will miss you and we will all miss you.
So Kathy Florfane has been coaching Odyssey of the Mind at Goshen Intermediate School for 24 years. Thanks to her tremendous dedication, patience, expertise, and hard work, and even 2 members of the school board understand the hard work, and our coaches out there understand the hard work. Goshen Odyssey of the Mind program has grown to be the huge success it is today. Without a doubt, Kathy Florfane is the foundation of our program. Obviously, she has inspired enthusiasm in her team members, and over the course of 24 years, you recognize Sam Sherlock, Mrs. Chlorophane, who was on your 4th grade team, I believe, and he went on to compete at middle school and high school, and his mother coaches in the back, and they're world finalist, and now he is judging at the Odyssey of the Mind regional tournament, and that has happened with countless students. So there's a little bit of history here, it's very brief, but Kathy Chlorophane, when she came here to Goshen in the year 2000, did not want to coach Odyssey of the Mind. She was tired. She had already coached for several years at Chester, starting with her own children who are in the back. So she was like, okay, that's enough. But then while she was, and this is as legend has it, and as Mrs. Florfane has told me, she was walking down the halls and she saw a box. It was a very big box, a very empty box, and it was destined for the dumpster. She was hooked. She couldn't say no to the box. And so 24 years later, here she is. So, and here is, whoops. Oh, here is her very first team. And Kirsten Ellefson came all the way from Colorado to give Mrs. Chlorophane a little message.
Hello, my name is Kirsten Ellefson-Oleloway, and I am super honored to be part of the celebration happening in honor of Miss Chlorophane. Mrs. Chlorophane was my very first Odyssey of the Mind coach. I was going through some old photos, and she is not in them, but she made such a profound difference in my life, and I know the lives of my teammates and so many others. I went on to continue in Odyssey of the Mind because of Ms. Chlorphane's deep belief in my creativity and ability to solve problems, and my team in high school went on to win the World Championship, and it all started with the type of educator that I now aspire to be. I did not know I wanted to go into education, but when I decided to make that decision towards the end of my college career, Mrs. Chlorophane was a huge part of that. She showed me the type of profound impact that an educator can have and the ability that incredible educators like her have to change the trajectory of a student's life. And so it is thanks to Mrs. Chlorophane that I chose to pursue this path, and I hope to have a fraction of the impact that she had on me, on other students throughout the course of my career. Congratulations on such an incredible career. I hope to see you sometime soon.
She's a very super excited mouse in the background. So, and Mrs. Chlorophane's team have always been really, really excited. Here is her current team at the New York Odyssey of the Mind State Finals this year. So, to Mrs. Chlorophane, to Coach Chlorophane, we are pleased to recognize you for your 24 wonderful years of service to Goshen Odyssey of the Mind.
Ms. Chlorophane, if you don't mind joining us. So, on behalf of the grateful districts, there's a number of students that you have had impact on over many, many years in the classroom and especially in the Odyssey Mind program. I present you with this plaque, an award of appreciation to Coach Kathy Chlorophane for unwavering dedication and enthusiastic commitment to the Odyssey of the Mind program in Goshen from 2000 to 2024. Thank you so much.
And that's all, folks.
That's all.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Congratulations, and thank you again, Ms. Chlorophane.
Thank you. I'm just overwhelmed. Thank you.
We're just gonna take 2 minutes, so students and families, you guys are welcome to stay, but if you choose to leave, we're just gonna wait until you guys head on out, and then we'll continue the meeting. All right, thank you. Alright, thank you everybody. Moving on to our next agenda item here, we have privilege of the floor. Persons wishing to speak should first be recognized by the president and identify themselves. Any group or organization wishing to address the board must identify a single spokesperson. Comments shall be brief and concise, generally not exceeding 4 minutes in length per speaker, which may be extended at the discretion of the board president. Each privilege of the floor session is not to exceed 32 minutes in length. Speakers may comment on matters related to district business only. The board will not permit in public session discussions involving individual district personnel by name or by title or students. Persons wishing to discuss matters involving individual district personnel or students should present their comments and or concerns to the superintendent during regular business hours. All speakers are to conduct themselves in a civil manner. Obscene language, libelous statements, threats of violence, statements advocating racial, religious, or other forms of prejudice will not be tolerated. We have 2 signups this evening. First, we have Patty Cappucciano.
I think I lost my favorite.
Press that button right
Oh,
there.
sorry.
That's all right. It's my late job here.
I think I lost my favorite audience, the students who I adore. My name is Patty Cappucciano, so good evening, Dr. Coates, Mr. Carter, members of the Board of Education, other administrators, and other community members. As you can see, I'm not used to speaking here, but I came tonight to thank you. And I know that you often don't hear those words. I know that you volunteer your time to make this district a better district. So I've been teaching here at Goshen School District for 37 years. Large portion of that at Goshen Intermediate School, and I'm finishing up my career at the middle school. And your dedication, your support has made Goshen a strong foundation. We come together as a family, and that's what makes me so proud to be here tonight. Your support, your kindness does not go unrecognized. I would like to take a minute to thank my current administrator, Heather Carmen, who has gone above and beyond to support me in my final years and in the clubs that I have done for the Goshen School District. It truly has been an honor. And I think part of that success is Heather stands behind curtains and doesn't come forward when she is supporting us. She pushes us out front. And over the past, especially these past 5 years, I would say that Heather Carmen has done 2 jobs, the assistant principal and the principal jobs many times, because she gets the job done. And I just want to thank her publicly and thank all of you for your support throughout my career. Thank you so much.
Next, we have Kelly Vaughn.
Thank you. Patty, I think we planned this. I'm on the same wavelength, actually.
Okay, I'll show you where to turn on the mic.
All right, so I'm on the same wavelength as Patty, which I think is great. I'm just going to acknowledge a few different administrators. My name is Kelly Vaughn. I'm a special education teacher at Scotchtown. I'm also a parent of 3 kids in the district. One is at GIS, one's at SAS, and the other one will be in SAS next year. At Scotchtown, we implement the Choose Love program. That was my intention here tonight. Choose love and spread kindness. I had a student a few years ago, one dear to my heart, who said, kindness is like a boomerang. You throw it out and it comes back to you. I have the poster she made me still in my room. So I've been a special education teacher for 7 years. I was a leave replacement for several years prior to my current position. I am here this evening to acknowledge several administrators I've had the pleasure to work with. First, Mr. Carter was my first principal. He set a very high bar for leadership. He was always willing to provide sound advice and was very approachable. Dr. Coates recently had a very nice conversation with me and made me know his door is always open, and I feel very heard as an employee. My current principal, Mrs. Driscoll, is amazing. I could stay up here for hours. She has brought so much stability to SAS. She's always smiling and more than happy to provide advice when it is needed. Mrs. Driscoll and Mrs. Cruz are both fantastic communicators and amazing leaders at Scotchtown. We are so lucky to have them. Finally, I would like to acknowledge all the positive experiences I have had with Dr. Hendershot. Dr. Hendershot has been approachable, understanding, and a strong leader. Dr. Hendershot frequently responds to all emails I send. As an employee and as a parent, I feel valued as a PPS employee under Dr. Hendershot. She has high expectations for her department, and I feel her leadership has helped shape us as teachers, speech pathologists, and counselors. The work our department does day to day is a testament to her as our leader. I just wanted to acknowledge these individuals at the close of this year, because like I said, my goal this month is spreading kindness and love. And sometimes all their hard work goes unappreciated. Thank you, and have a good night.
Thank you very much. All right, moving on. President's report. I don't have too many items to report for this evening, so we'll continue on our agenda. Next, we have our legislative update. Mr. Gonzalez.
No update for this meeting.
Thank you. Moving on, are there any board committee reports? No? All right, very good. And keeping in line with what we've been doing, has everybody had an opportunity to go through the first read of the policies? The policies are listed on your agenda that were presented to the board in advance tonight for the first reading. Policy, the committee has continued to meet frequently to go through the many policies we have to update our entire book. All right, then moving on, we have our superintendent's report, Dr. Curtis Coates.
Thank you again, Mr. Loftus. While we're preparing, I'd like to ask Mr. St. Lawrence to come forward, and while he's doing so, 2 items tonight that will be reported on are surrounding athletics. And along our lines of celebration, one of the first things that Mr. St. Lawrence is going to introduce is about our high school being awarded the award of School of Distinction. School of Distinction is such an incredible honor for not just Goshen, but for our student athletes. And I think it's most appropriate that I allow Mr. St. Lawrence to give the conditions under which a high school can be awarded a School of Distinction and the honors that come with that. And then also second, he's going to speak to the board and to the community tonight about proposed regulatory changes that are coming down from the State Education Department for athletics. So Mr. St. Lawrence, I'm going to turn it over to you, sir.
Dr. Coates, thank you to everybody in the audience and to my fellow administrators and to Dr. Coates and the school board. I'm very proud to announce a great honor that is bestowed us with our athletic department this year. For the first time, we have become a school of distinction when it comes to not just athletics, but scholar athletes. This award is given out to very few teams in New York State. It is given out by the New York State Public High School Athletic Association for a school district that has 100% achieved the Scholar Athlete Award on a team level. For us, that's 32 teams and over 225 student athletes who excelled not just on our athletic field, but also in the classroom. And in order to do that and be recognized as New York State as a team makes it even more difficult. But to have every varsity team in this high school in all 3 sports seasons achieve that honor is also a reflection of what our teachers, what our administrators, what our school board, and what our community strives. It's not education that ends at the passing bell of a normal day. The education continues on the athletic fields, and it couldn't happen without the work that's done during the school day with the teachers. And I appreciate the opportunity to announce this to our public tonight. It's a great honor, and we should be getting an award from New York State as we enter into next school year. So for all the scholar athletes, Dr. Coates, if I may, I'm going to try to keep my next item to a brief 5 minutes perhaps, and then if any board members or if there's anything that I can follow up with, I'd be more than happy to do that.
I'm gonna ask Mr. Rediker just a presentation up so everyone can follow.
Okay. So thank you, Mr. Rediker. What's on the board now is what I'm about to talk to everybody in the presence and as well as everybody out in the community. The New York State Regulations Part 135.4 basically alludes to the New York State Public High School Athletic Association's guidelines as set forth by the New York State Board of Regents. Our Board of Regents sets the laws that we as a school district follow, and in this particular case, it's clearly important to delineate that the New York State Public High School Athletic Association is an association. Therefore, they are bound by the laws that are set up by the Board of Regents, and they are chartered to make sure that we as a school district follow those laws and implement them accordingly. Presently, as I stand before you tonight, there is a change that will take place to Part 135.4 that the New York State Board of Regents has brought to the attention of all school districts in New York State officially on May 21st of this year, on Budget Day. What I'd like to say before we go to the next slide is that there has been a number of communications that have taken place. Some of our community members, some of our board members, some of our community members who are here tonight might have heard about these changes that are being proposed. It is imperative, I think, to be able to address both the school board as well as our community about what these changes may look like and what's coming down the road with some timelines. The changes basically are effective in two areas. Mixed competition, which for everybody to define easily is basically boys and girls participating on the same team in the same sport in the same season. For example, we might have a mixed competition where we have a girl wrestler and a boys wrestler both competing on boys varsity wrestling, or in swimming, or maybe even in flag football, so to speak. So mixed competition has a set of rules that, as your athletic director, I need to follow, as your school district, we all need to follow. The second part of what I want to discuss is really only going to be placed on this screen right here. So, Mr. Edgar, thank you for bearing with me. The athletic placement process, also known as APP, is a process by which New York State allows 7th and 8th grade student athletes to be able to participate or move up to play JV or varsity level. Many states don't allow such a thing. Our neighboring state, New Jersey, says that you start your varsity and JV career at 9th grade, 7th and 8th grade is strictly for what they call their junior high programs, what we in New York State call our modified programs. The importance of mentioning this to you is that there's some fundamental changes that are taking place. More importantly, I think, based upon the documentation that's been presented by the regents, more importantly, my comments will be on the following pages dealing with mixed competition. But the athletic placement process needs to be addressed also. So right now, we have a situation where if a 7th and 8th grade student athlete wants to participate on a JV or varsity level, there's a number of things that they need to do, a process. One of the pieces of the process is they need to get a permission or a evaluation from a physical education teacher, or maybe a coach in the district, or maybe a travel coach who understands what their athletic level may be. That is under the old rules. The new proposed rules will be that is not necessary. Under the current APP process, we have a physical fitness exam that is administered to a 7th and 8th grade student to test their physical ability in a number of different areas, endurance being one of them, 5 basic components. Under the present plan, that student athlete needs to hit a certain standard and to be able to physically prove that they can participate on a JV or varsity level as a 7th or 8th grader. Under the new proposals, that is removed. The other component that is also in place is there's a medical health process for the APP process. So a 7th and 8th grader has a obligation, parents, student, and their local physician to be able to see what maturity level they are at using a Tanner scale. That process has been totally removed. So the new process for APP moving forward, if these proposals go through, will basically be a 7th and 8th grade student with parent permission and a school sports physical will be able to try out for a 7th and 8th grade, a JV and a varsity team. So the components of the checks and balance of the school district to make sure that there are some safety concerns and physical ability and maturation levels are being proposed by the state regents to be removed and to streamline the process for the APP to be what I said. Doctor's physical, parent permission, and you can try out for the team. The last component is that the school district will have to have a posted process by which the tryouts will take place for that 7th and 8th grader in order to be moved up and placed on the team. I'll leave the APP process at a minimum right now. I just want everybody to be aware. The implications for this is not what I'm here to talk about. I'm here to deliver information that you as a school board, us as a school, and us as a community can look at and be aware that these changes are still under public hearing for the potential date of September 23rd to be implemented of this year, with the potential of it being carried over until July 1 of next year. So the public has a chance, 60-day period, to talk about these issues. Mr. Redditor, if you could slide it over.
You also have the clicker.
Oh, thank you.
You can go to the right button.
Yeah.
Okay, there's a little lag.
Okay. This slide presentation here is about the new regulations being approximately 30 pages in length. They are available on the State Education Department's website. The following is a comparison of the current regulations versus the proposed regulations. So what we've done, and I say we've condensed this down to be a presentation that can really give the essence of what this 30-page document looks like. Again, I'm not here to condone, I'm not here to promote, I'm just here to inform. And my recommendation to the school board at the end of this, so everybody can know, is that we would be able to place this document or any additional documents that might help support our community in understanding exactly what is taking place in the State Ed Department. We currently have a 60-day comment period for New Yorkers to let the Commissioner and the Board of Regents know their thoughts and concerns about how the proposed changes may impact the future of students participating in interscholastic athletics. Again, no judgment here. This is for the community to be aware and have this readily available on their fingertips to take a look at. The 60-day comment period for the proposed changes will close in July. It actually started on May 21st and kind of surprised a lot of people in the athletic world, fellow athletic directors, and quite frankly, a lot of people in the central administration offices across the county, as well as throughout the state, that this came down with this in this timing. But we're currently in a 60-day comment period for the proposed changes. It's important that everybody who's watching, everybody who's listening, very simply, you can go to REG comments at nysed.gov, and you can get the 30-page document, and you can also have all the information I'm about to present looked at and help make a decision if you want to be involved in having comments for the regions. There are 4 mixed competition proposals. I put the 1 and 2 on the same page for a reason. If you take a look on the left box, you're gonna see the current regulation. If you take a look at the right box, the corresponding, right across from the first box are the proposed regulations. So again, this was put together, I don't take the credit for this, this was put together with a team of athletic directors as well as the leadership of the New York State Public High School Athletic Association, as well as the Section 9 leadership under current Section 9 Director Greg Ransom. So this document is current for everybody and is proposed for everybody in our league, in our section, and in our state. So I'm gonna go with the first one. If you take a look under the current regulations for females, under the 1, it says females can play on a boys' team if there is parental approval, a school physician approval, and a successful tryout. That is what the current regulations are in New York State. That's what we follow right now as a school district. Under the proposed regulation, females can play on a boys' team only if there's no equivalent girls' team. I'll let that sink in for a second. Females can play on a boys' team only if there's no equivalent girls' team. That's what the proposal is. It takes away any of the other parent approval necessary? No. School physician approval, just a regular physical, and a successful tryout, well, that would also be the case, whether it's current or proposed. Now, The reason why I have 1 and 2 up there is because the males, if you take a look under current regulation number 2, males can play on the girls' team if there is, and this is a current regulation right now, if there's no equivalent boys' team, parental approval, superintendent approval, school physician approval, and then approval by Section 9 governing the body for all of our athletics, all the schools in Section 9. So males can already play on a girls' team if they meet the following criteria. If you look over to the proposed regulation under number 2, it says males can play on a girls' team if there is no equivalent boys' team. Males can play on a girls' team if there's no equivalent boys' team. I'm going to pause for a second, but I want to make it clear that parental approval will be needed under the proposed regulation. There will still need a school physician approval, which will be a basic physical. There will have to be a successful tryout, so the boy will have to show that he's a better player than the girl. And the district must post the selection criteria on its website. This is a proposed regulation. I'm going to stay on this for a moment, and I'm just going to bring up one example. Volleyball. Volleyball in this district is a very active sport. It is a sport that is set up in Section 9 for girls to play. There is currently no organized boys volleyball program in Section 9, organized volleyball program for boys. Under this proposal, if it passes, a boy can try out for a girls' volleyball team. If the parent says it's okay, if he passes a physical, and he has a successful tryout. Now, from a physical stature standpoint, and maturation levels and different levels of volleyball play, we have some very good volleyball players in our school right now that are boys, and they will have a chance to basically be on a girls' team following those proposed regulations. So I just want to pause on that one and use volleyball as an example. I'm going to go to proposal number 3 right now, which is one that might raise some questions as you look through this document. The current regulations state that baseball and softball are considered equivalent sports. Therefore, a boy cannot play softball if the school has a baseball team. The majority of our schools in New York State offer boys and girls sports. The majority of the schools in New York State offer softball and baseball in the same season. They don't use the same fields, but in the same season. 40 years of Title IX, with an opportunity for young ladies to play sports. It has been a long road to get to where we're at right now. But under the proposed regulation, there's a threat to Title IX. Actually, there's a threat potentially to girls' sports. I'm not here to convince one way or the other. I'm just here to ask you to consider these points. Under the proposed regulation, baseball and softball are going to be considered different sports. Therefore, boys can try out for the softball team based on parent approval, school physician approval, general physical, a successful tryout, and the district posts a team selection criteria on the website. As your athletic director, I stand here and I say, a boy with an aluminum bat that's 6'5" and a senior and wants to play softball rather than baseball could be a very dangerous situation for a young lady who's 42 feet away pitching softball. To proposal 4. The current regulations under New York State Public High School Athletic Association and the SCD 135.4 state the following. In Section 9, we have volleyball and flag football are girls-only sports. A boy may play if they have parental approval, superintendent approval, currently now, a school physician approval, which goes beyond just a normal physical, and Section 9 has the ability to govern whether or not this is something that is healthy and safe for all student athletes involved. That's the current regulation. The proposed regulation is that in section 9, volleyball and flag football are girls-only sports. That's the fact. That stays consistent with the current regulation. A boy may play if they have parent approval, superintendent approval, school physician approval, successful tryout, and the district must post the selection criteria on the website. So, under the state education rules, the superintendent will now be involved in the potential decision-making process. As they were last, the parent approval is the same, the school physician approval is the same, but section 9 has no say over this. This will be removed as to any constraints that they might place based upon physical and safety reasons. Those are the 4 items that I wanted to share with you today. I'd like to go back, if I may, to close out with the red comments on the board for everybody to see. I would encourage everybody to please consider what I presented here. I would ask you to, if you feel, to be able to comment on this one way or the other. I think we would be exercising our democratic rights to do that. I will tell you that I hope that I will be able to put this on our website, and so I ask the school board members here and our school central administration to consider that so that our community can have an understanding of what potentially could be happening as we move forward into the next school year. With that being said, Dr. Coates, I would like to clarify any points I could. If there's anybody has any discussions, if I've left anything out or need clarification, I'd be more than happy to answer any questions.
Can you just state, when was the date in July that the comment period closes again?
It's a 60-day period, and it started May 21st, and July 21st is the deadline, with potential implication to start on September 23rd, but more likely for following July 1, a year from basically now.
And the email you have here is where any community member can share thoughts, comments, or concerns.
Yes, it's
Where can they find the 30-page document that you referenced?
it is also available on the REG comments at newyorkstateed.gov, and I'm hoping that if it's possible, we could provide that as a link as part of this presentation on the website so people can delve into it and make their own conclusions.
I just have a question. I think I know the answer only from being in sports with the kids for so long and struggling for gym space with existing sports. So on some of these proposals where there's a possibility of having a boys and girls, do we even have the ability to handle that?
Great question. I would like to answer it on 2 levels. Number 1, the physical plant, the facilities that we have are utilized as pretty much everybody in this room knows as maximum as we possibly can for athletic teams, and then followed up with our community teams. So our physical plant will have a difficult time taking on, let's say, a boys and girls volleyball in the same season. I'm going to stick with the volleyball as the example. The second problem that I believe that we face is we are a school district that is very fortunate. We are a school district where the community supports its athletic programs phenomenally, and we have probably of the top 3 schools in our section as far as student participation in athletics. With that being said, the problem is in a 1,035 student high school, are we able to field another team? Are we able to field a volleyball team? The proposed regulations would allow, if we had a boys team, to keep the boys from playing volleyball. I'm not here to keep anybody from playing anything, but to answer your question, I think we come to a point where do we have enough student athletes to fulfill the teams that we have currently, and adding more teams potentially if our enrollment climbs, I think so. but from a physical standpoint in the plant, it's gonna be very tight. There's gonna be practices till 9 o'clock at night, and I just don't know if that's a long day for student athletes.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, everybody, appreciate the time.
Thank you, Mr. Sandlin.
Thank you.
Press that.
I will conclude for you tonight as well.
Get a mic, guys.
All right,
It's not that hard.
thank you, Dr. Coates. Moving on then to the Assistant Superintendent for the Business Report, Ms. Maria Van Lammer.
Oh, you said you're a pro?
Okay, good evening and thank you. Tonight I'll be going over the list of buildings and grounds projects that have been completed this year and looking forward to what we're gonna be working on in the summer and the upcoming months. We had a facilities planning committee meeting about a week and a half ago, and it was decided that we could present this to the board and the community so they know what we've been doing.
It's not going.
Probably me. Let me try again. It's just like at home, same thing.
I don't know why it didn't go, sorry.
That's okay. Okay, so district-wide, we are continuing to replace our window shades in all of the buildings. We are replacing a number of them this summer, and this is an ongoing project until it is complete. Our fiber optic cable was replaced for the district for the local area network, and this was in conjunction with our tech department. Flame safeguard controls were installed for the boilers in C.J. Hooker Middle School, our Main Street boilers in the back here, and Scotchtown Elementary School. We've purchased 2 new vans over the past year, 1 new Mason dump truck, and a new front mount 4-wheel drive 72-inch mower with a rotary broom that can sweep behind it as it goes along. And we've completed over 550 work order requests throughout the year. This year, and may have been towards the end of last year, that we switched to ML systems, moving from School Dude, which is what we used to use to do repairs for buildings and grounds, as well as the technology department, and it is working well. We're also moving to online facilities use with this program as well, beginning with July 1. We're testing it out this week live on our website. So should hopefully now. So Goshen High School, we purchased and installed 6 storage units at the materials yard. The material bins were constructed as well. We're cleaning, grooming, and GMAX testing our turf fields this summer. And I had to look up GMAX because I have to tell you, I don't know that much about turf fields. And that is testing the ability to absorb shock, in case anybody's interested or didn't know. The C.J. Hooker Middle School, we repaired and replaced boiler tubes that were aging, abated 6 classroom floor tiles, and replaced the flooring. This was in the cafeteria as well. Refinished gym floor and 3 other rooms with wood floors, and replaced the steam condensate system, which is the pumps, pressure tanks, and controls. At the Goshen Intermediate School, we modernized the elevator number 2, which we were having problems with. We did a bid and awarded that to the lowest bidder. We should be completely done with that soon, if not already. Roof replacement, we're working on that currently, and we're 75% complete at this time. And we replaced the JACE and the TVS heating control interface. These are the building controllers. The Scotchtown Elementary School removed and replaced the roof. That was last summer. Replaced the rooftop HVAC and installed building controls for the AC and control system. Replacement of grease traps and cleanouts. And phase 2 of the HVAC project starts again the end of this week or this month and going into July. And at the bus garage, we installed 2 electric charging stations for the buses, for the incoming. Upcoming projects include the roof replacement at the annex, as well as air conditioning repairs or replacement as needed at the annex. Replace the walkway at Scotchtown along the exterior wall of the cafeteria. Refinish wood floors in 5 classrooms again, and the stage at CJ Hooker as well. New blacktop at Scotchtown to the playground area. This is walking up rather than walking through the grass. We'll have blacktop going up there. And asphalt repairs, seal coating, restriping the road and lots at CJ Hooker. That's ongoing every year. We try to do a different building parking lot and keep it maintained. And then we're purchasing and installing 2 ceiling mounted heaters at the bus garage. Power wash, repair, and restripe the running track at the high school stadium. And I'm looking forward to working on ways to replace all of CJ Hooker's controls in the new year. Anybody have any questions? And our buildings and grounds crew have been hard at work this year, and you can see all the work that they've been doing, and they are to be commended for that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Now moving on to our Assistant Superintendent for Curriculum Instruction, Personnel and Technology report, Mr. Jason Carter.
Thank you, Mr. Loftus. Good evening, everyone. Just a few brief updates for you this evening. I know that we've spoken a few times now about our pathways for graduation, but as we approach graduation, we felt that it was appropriate to give you some updates on the 3 pathways and the number of graduates that we will have. So starting off with the Seal of Biliteracy, if you recall, the Seal of Biliteracy is for those who truly illustrate a high proficiency level in English and 1 or more world languages. And with that, there is a rubric of criteria in which students have to earn 3 points for English and 3 points in that world language. And then additionally, there is an assessment that has to be taken. Students also have an opportunity to present a capstone project to get some of those points. This is our first time through, so of course we're very proud of offering the opportunity, but more importantly, we're proud of the students that took advantage of that. This year we have 9 students graduating with the Seal of Biliteracy. So you'll see some students walking across the stage with a medallion, a rope, and they'll also get a seal on their diploma. We anticipate that the number will grow as we move on, of course, this being the first year, so we look forward to that. The Seal of Civic Readiness, much like the Seal of Biliteracy, this is for those who illustrate a high level of knowledge with civic knowledge, civic skills. There's also a rubric to follow. Students also present capstone projects. Dr. Coates and I actually had the opportunity, along with Nick Pantaleone and the committee here in the boardroom, to see 6 students in their presentations to earn their points. However, the presentation is not mandatory. This year, we will have 6 students, I'm sorry, not 6. We have over 80% of our students actually completing the Seal of Civic Readiness, and so they will get a seal on their diploma as well. So 80% of our senior population is very high. We anticipate that that may actually grow as well. Again, with 6 capstone projects, the opportunity is there for our students, but it is not mandatory, so we can't really place a number on that. But it's important to just acknowledge that we have a stakeholder committee who comes down and actually grades the students on their presentation and assigns points. So our students work very hard for that. CTE pathway for cybersecurity. So we haven't talked about this in quite some time, but about 4 years ago, we put together a CTE pathway in cybersecurity, just anticipating that this really, it lent itself to providing the opportunity for students to graduate high school with some credentials and really take advantage of those in a career nature if they so choose. So we put together a sequence in working with Siena College and also Syracuse through SUPA. And these are dual credit courses, so students have a chance to earn up to 10 credits as a part of our sequence. Again, there are more than just coursework components. There's a financial literacy component, there's a work-based component, and there's also an industry standard assessment in cybersecurity that our students have to complete. So this is actually our first cohort that has the opportunity to complete that. and we have 2 students who have completed that this year. Again, we anticipate that that will grow as students now have the opportunity and are becoming familiar with this. Dylan Johnson and Danielle Nguante do a great job of bringing in students, developing interest, and really guiding them through. And if our students are willing to commit and complete the coursework and everything that comes with it, that number will grow. So we'll stay at it with the CTE pathway in cybersecurity and computer technologies. We spoke to Joe Fedor this afternoon, and he had mentioned that there are currently 9 students on track to complete that for next year. So that is, great incremental growth. So again, it just shows that the possibility is there. And that's it for our pathways. Just wanted to mention a few other things. Let's jump over to our Summer Academy. So we've been working through Summer Academy in collaboration with our principals. We have a lot of our Tier 3 students, and we've broken down into some of our students receiving Tier 2 services, and a lot of our ELL students who have received invites, of course, based on teacher recommendation and need in the content areas of ELA and math. So that has been going out every single morning until it's completed by a parent by selecting either yes or no that they will attend. So currently we have 111 students who have agreed to attend the Summer Academy. We're not going to shut that off yet, but we do have to get to the point very soon where we turn off the form for the invite so that we can send out the notifications for transportation. Karen Wells already has the prelim list so that she can start to plan in the event that students need transportation. So we're trying to stay ahead of it. I'm not quite sure what that number will land at, and I'll work closely with Dr. Coates and the principals to turn off that notification and move forward. So 111 students district-wide right now. We do have a breakdown if you'd like to see that before the end of the evening. We also have teachers and substitute teachers on the agenda for appointment this evening to help us out with Summer Academy. And then I just wanted to mention summer curriculum work. So each year we put together goals collaboratively that really encompass everything that we're trying to do throughout the district. And we also have one open-ended goal that allows teachers and other staff members to put forth any of their ideas that don't necessarily fit into a particular box. So those notifications have gone out. We actually have 66 proposals on the table. And again, this is the approval process is in collaboration with the building level. So they go through it first, take a look, and either approve or deny, and then it comes along to Main Street. And we look to see if it really jives with the goals or, of course, in that other category and the sheer value of it as we try to move forward with our curriculum planning. So we've got a lot of things right now that are proposed. Many involve next-gen science standards and making necessary changes to comply with those standards. We also have, for instance, at the high school, the development of quarterly assessments, which is a part of what we're trying to do with our MTSS program. And monitoring growth with more of an organic assessment. That we've got data team work that goes on at GIS and other buildings. So it's just a sample of what has come in. Some more Choose Love work, for instance. So we'll continue to go through, but we want to issue the final approvals before the end of this week so that everyone knows what they've been approved for and what we'll hold them accountable for that summer curriculum work. And that will conclude my report this evening. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Okay, moving on, I need a motion to approve the consent agenda. John, Brett, be it resolved upon the recommendation of the superintendent of schools, the Board of Education accepts the retirement of Frances Adamo, teacher aide, effective June 30th, 2024. Ms. Adamo has been with the district for 13 years. Be it further resolved upon the recommendation of the superintendent of schools, the Board of Education approves the remainder of the consent agenda as presented. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Need a motion to approve the minutes. Kelly and Shannon. Be it resolved upon the recommendation of the superintendent of schools, the Board of Education approves the minutes for the June 10, 2024 regular board meeting. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? I need a motion to accept recommendations of Committee of Special Education and Committee on Preschool Special Education. John and Ashley. Be resolved that the Board of Education hereby arranges for the special education programs and services based upon the recommendations made for preschool and school-age students with disabilities by the Committee on Preschool Special Education, CPSE, and Committee on Special Education, CSE, during the period from April 4th, 2024 through and including June 17th, 2024, and directs the district to arrange for the provisions of said special education program and services to such preschool and school-age students with disabilities as recommended during such time period by the CPSE and CSE. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? I need a motion to approve the overnight trip football team to Pennsylvania. Ashley and Brett. Be it resolved upon the recommendation of the superintendent of schools, the Board of Education approves the overnight trip for the football team to attend camp at East Stroudsburg University in Pennsylvania from July 18th through the 20th, 2024. Be it further resolved that the board reserves the right to cancel or reschedule any school-sponsored trip or activity in the event of any emergency condition outside of the control of the school district in its sole discretion. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstained?
Aye.
I need a motion to approve the overnight trip cheerleading team to Pennsylvania. Shannon, Billy. Be it resolved upon the recommendation of the superintendent of schools, the Board of Education approves the overnight trip for the cheerleading team to attend the Lake Bryan Mara Camp in Homestead, Pennsylvania from August 28th through the 30th, 2024. Be it further resolved that the board reserves the right to cancel or reschedule any school-sponsored trip or activity in the event of any emergency condition outside of the control of the school district in its sole discretion. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? I need a motion to accept donations and authorize an increase in the budget. Billy and Ashley. Be resolved upon the recommendation of the superintendent of schools, the Board of Education accepts the following donations as presented from the Scotchtown Avenue Elementary School PTO. Be it further resolved, the Board of Education approves increasing the 2023-2024 budget to support the associated expenditures totaling $6,783.80. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? I need a motion to ratify supplemental memorandum of agreements with the GTA. Brett and Scott. Be it resolved that the Board of Education hereby ratifies 2 supplemental memorandum of agreements between the Goshen Central School District and the Goshen Teachers Association dated June 20th, 2024. One regarding summer technology support provided by a GTA member, and one regarding career internship program support provided by a GTA member. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? I need a motion to approve special education agreement for assistive technology evaluations. John and Ashley. Be it resolved upon the recommendation of the superintendent of schools, the Board of Education approves the agreement between the district and Westchester Institute for Human Development to provide comprehensive assistive technology evaluations in one or more of the following disciplines: speech-language pathologist and or occupational therapist, effective for the 2024-2025 school year as follows: 1 discipline, $1,380, 2 disciplines, $1,890, training fees, $225 per hour. Be it further resolved, the Board of Education authorizes the superintendent to execute the agreement. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? I need a motion to approve special education agreement for nursing services. Shannon and Billy. Be resolved upon the recommendation of the superintendent of schools, the Board of Education approves entering into an agreement with AccuCare Nursing and Home Care to provide nursing services to special education students in need of such services, effective July 1st, 2024 through June 30th, 2025. According to the terms set forth in said agreement. Be it further resolved, the Board of Education authorizes the superintendent to execute the agreement. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? All right. Do we have any additional speakers, Maureen?
No.
No? All right, thank you. All right, next, any board member issues or comments?
I just wanted to, I got to attend both SAS moving up days and the GIS moving up ceremonies, and I look forward to the CJ Hooker moving up ceremony tomorrow night. But for the ones that occurred already, I just wanted to compliment Dr. Wentworth and Ms. Driscoll on a great job. They were really well done. Each one, I'll say the second time was better than the first time. So, but I look forward to CJ Hooker tomorrow, and obviously culminating in graduation at the end of the week. So, great job, everybody.
I appreciate the updates from Mr. St. Lawrence on some of the regulation changes and proposals. I'm hoping that we might hear from Mr. Carter. There's been a lot of news about the changes in some of the regents' requirements, and they're coming up. So I think the community would really like to hear what those changes are gonna look like. And you know, that would be something that I think would be great to have a presentation on.
Alright, great. One other item I mentioned at our last meeting was, as we're getting now to the end of the school year and approaching our reorg meeting, maybe start the conversation about some board goals, some of the broader items that we would like to cover. I know one of the items we discussed not only as a board, but as a district, was to get our code of conduct updated. We successfully did that on a district-wide level, and I know that we were looking to have that aligned at all the building levels. So I think that's probably a crossover goal. Any other thoughts on some of those goals or ideas? I figured we'll bring it up early and then again at the reorg meeting, or maybe we'll take a little bit more time digging into things. So as those items come up, let's just bring them to the table, see what we all think. Anything else? Alright, very good. Alright, so moving on, I need a motion to go into executive session. Be resolved, Board of Education will enter into executive session with the intent not to reconvene the business portion of the meeting for discussions related to the employment history of particular